demo you attended.
Yeah.
Python first time.
Yeah, this is like an advanced course from as compared to what you have seen from the basics of Dynamo.
Okay.
Python, I can understand you. I'm just asking about any demo classes which you have seen for related to Python. We used to take some demo classes before for some students, even some LinkedIn live sessions and some of the personalized demo classes. So I'm just meaning like anybody else had a chance to attend that.
No.
Okay, no problem. So we are already on time. So I will just start with introducing myself. My name is Kumar. I will be your tutor
Okay.
for this course of teaching you Python as well as Revit API and some core concept inside this. Basically, we are going to see the advanced version of Dynamo. And the very
Okay.
first and foremost thing I wanted to clarify here and want you to know is no more calling me sir or Mr. Kumar. I don't really like that.
Okay.
Please call me
Okay.
Kumar. Please address me as
Kumar.
Kumar. We will just keep it like very simple. Okay.
Okay.
So,
You are from Bangalore or
yeah.
Vizag?
Yeah. Oh, from Bangalore, actually.
Okay. Bangalore. Okay. Right.
Okay. So, I'm a Revit API professional, like which means that I've been
Okay.
working on this Dynamo for some years, and then I've been developing Revit add-ins for myself. If you know that BIMera is also producing some add-ons for free, like all these add-ins has been
Yeah.
developed by myself, and some of them by
Okay. Good.
Rajesh as well. Okay, somebody is saying that I'm not hearing anything. Okay, Ajay, let me just check. Okay, let me just text him because he can't hear me. Anything. So he just texted me privately inside. So if you can't hear me or my voice is breaking, and if you can't let me know through the mic, you can also use the chat box. Okay, Ajay,
Okay.
please check your mic settings. Okay, that is what about me. I've been having like nearly 4 years of experience in Dynamo in this Revit API related field. But one major thing to clarify here is like I'm not a professional programmer. I started my career as a civil engineer, and then I have
Okay.
converted myself into this BIM field and started in the field of architecture and structure, and then also get to know
Okay.
a lot of some stuffs in MEP, and then started learning Dynamo from the basics, like some self studies and all, and then pushed myself to learn Python, and then I learned Python and started learning Revit API much, and now I work with C Sharp. So if you are not sure about what is C Sharp, C Sharp is a programming language like Python. Again, Python is a programming language. Okay, so we are not going to deal with a professional or a structured nodes. Get parameter value by name, select model elements. Okay. Anyways, I will get to know more about you. What is your experience in Dynamo? This is just a glance of letting you know what is this course is all about and what I am capable of teaching you. Okay, that's like a short introduction about myself. So if you guys can go ahead and just uh, tell something about yourself, so it would be nice. So should we start with Ajit? Ajit, you're there?
Yes, Kumar.
Hi,
So,
hi Ajit.
good afternoon, everyone. Yeah. So myself, Parijit Ghosh. I am working in Pinnacle Product Solutions for last 7 years,
Okay,
and I'm from civil engineering background.
okay.
And from the very beginning, started with CAD and reinforcement work, and then gradually I adapted with Revit, and I also work with Tekla.
Hmm.
So Dynamo, I started exploring myself from 2 years ago, and then I know the basics and a little bit advanced things of Dynamo, and also I started learning Python a bit, and it was from the YouTube. So at the same time, I'm very much I am very much interested to work on Revit API, and I have also started working on C# a little bit. So
Okay.
when I have seen this course, so I felt that it is very much, it would be helpful for me. So I just grabbed it.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, thanks for introducing yourself. So should we just continue with somebody else? Would somebody like to go on? I'm not gonna point out.
Yeah. My name is Arif Basha.
Hi Arif.
Yeah. Hi Kumar. I started career in Chennai only. Starting.
Okay.
10, 12 years I worked in Chennai.
Okay.
in building services.
Okay.
After that, I moved to Dubai.
Okay.
Here, I nearly completed 25, 26 years.
Oh my God. So you're older than Revit.
Yeah, older than maybe CAD also. I started
Maybe.
CAD 2.1 version. Maybe that time there is no mouse, no tablet, something. Started with 2.1 version of CAD.
Don't
Only
tell me that
keyboard operating.
you are from the period of Charles Babbage. So when the system was invented, you were there.
Yeah. Now I'm here. I'm working as a BIM manager,
Okay, that's great.
and I am
So
doing mechanical engineering also.
yeah, what about Dynamo? Like, do you have any
Yeah.
experience with Dynamo?
Dynamo, past 6 months only I'm made a training with Rajesh.
Okay.
Some small program I written.
Okay.
Control. That's it.
Yeah.
But basically, I'm a programmer of Autolist. I have done a lot of program in
Okay.
Autolist.
Yeah. Okay. Forward again. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it would be slightly easy for you to understand the concept. It's more or less the same, but the structure where we are going to write
Yeah.
it is slightly different.
Mm.
But again,
Okay.
thanks again. So should we go with
Thank you.
somebody else? Florin, maybe?
I'm Prolane, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm using Revit for almost 8 years now. I just started using Dynamo last 2018,
Hmm.
but that is just a self-study.
Hmm.
And I just took a formal training through Rajesh only last month to understand more deeper the Dynamo.
Okay.
And then from there, I got an interest to make it one level ahead. That's why I enrolled here in Python. But in Python, really, I'm zero. I didn't know anything else yet. What I only understand is what I only know is about this. He's saying that the one command that we are using in Dynamo is not that much related to this, but like the definition in the code block, something
Okay.
like that. But
Yeah.
that's why I got an interest on it to study it further.
Okay. Yeah. And you're from? Sorry, Florin, you're from? So can you hear me? Is my voice audible? Like, is you only can't hear me, or nobody can hear me?
No, I am hearing.
Okay, okay, maybe. Okay, fine. So should we go with somebody else? Nimesh. Okay, we got some more participants joining. Yeah, hi Nimesh. Your mic is unmuted, so but I can't hear your voice. Hi Nimesh, are you there? No, we can't hear you. At least I can't hear you. So maybe until you fix your devices.
Mic is.
Yeah, he unmuted his mic, but we can't hear his voice, but we can hear some background noises. Yeah, okay, no problem. He's just trying to connect with another device, no problem. So we'll just go ahead with Pratish. Are you there, Pratish? Maybe not. What about you, Vivek?
Hi.
Hi, Vivek. Good evening. Yes.
Yeah. Hi. Good evening.
Yes, you're from?
I'm from Nasik, Maharashtra.
Okay. So do you have what is your
Yeah.
experience at BIM and Dynamo?
My experience is 8 years experience in BIM modular and coordinator.
Okay.
And currently I'm working in Jacobs Engineering, Mumbai.
Okay.
Yeah. Dynamo also I attended my Dynamo training, but didn't get time for for practicing and everything. So
Okay.
it's something is lagging.
Okay. But
Yeah.
now you are here to learn Python as well.
Yes.
But at least practice Python.
Yes. Actually, we have that recorded session. So
Yeah, recorded
daily we
session
are.
will be there always, unless and
Yes.
until we watch it.
Yes. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm Kumar. So I just had an introduction just before. I think maybe you joined. I'm Kumar, and I
Okay.
work as a C# add-in developer. So I work with a lot
Okay.
of Dynamo. I used to develop a lot of scripts, mostly in Python, and
Mm-hmm.
I took develop add-ins and I also create some websites
Okay.
related to the field of Autodesk. Not just for Revit, I create plugins for both Autodesk, Navisworks.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I guess we have covered mostly everybody. If somebody is missed out, please show up now. That's a good time. If not, we should go ahead and continue.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yes, Nimish. Finally got you. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Good evening, everyone. I'm Nimesh Jaiswal from India, Maharashtra, basically.
Hmm.
I have almost like around 4 to 4.5 years of experience in BIM,
Okay.
and I have been working like around mostly Revit, Navisworks, again Dynamo.
Hmm.
Again, we have like three softwares. So there are like a couple of software I've been part of.
Okay.
Recently, like from around like last course, I have almost created around like 20 to 25 scripts for
Great.
my company.
Great.
So they are like working fine right now. It's just because of you, Kumar. So
Okay.
it is like
Okay.
a very
Okay.
nice experience.
Just a very big clarification. I'm not the same Kumar what you are speaking about Dynamo. Dynamo is having a different
Oh,
Kumar. He's
okay,
Rajesh Kumar.
Rajesh Kumar.
I am just Kumar. Just
Yeah,
so that we share the same name, we thought
okay.
like we will reduce confusion, but I can see that it is creating a lot
That's
of.
the reason I thought like the voice is completely
So
different.
you thought like I had some operations in my vocal card and then overnight I changed my voice. No, I'm a totally different
Mhm.
person.
Okay, no worries. So I guess that's it about me, and I'm very much focused about BIM. I love to learn more and more in BIM.
That's good to know. So we have a lot of people coming from different streams, but more or less interested in Dynamo. And everybody, it's good to know that most of you are already having a lot of experience with Dynamo. So it is going to be
Yeah.
very easy for me to train you people, and you guys are already very interested to learn Python and step ahead in your career related to automation. So that's two very good. So maybe we will just go ahead and start the session very slowly. Um, you have mixed exposure to Python, you have mixed exposure to Dynamo and Revit API. Somebody already know what is Python, somebody don't have an idea of what Python really is. So we'll just see why you have to learn this, how to learn this, and what would be the advantages of learning this. Okay, similar to when you started Dynamo, you would have asked the same question: what is Dynamo? Why should I even learn Dynamo? Okay, and there is one guy from this same session who would have asked the same question for AutoCAD and the same question for Autodesk Revit. And in the future, if there is any software is going to introduce, he's going to ask the same question, I believe. Okay, so now he is here to learn Dynamo as well as Python. That's a very interesting thing. I should learn from him, basically. I don't remember his name exactly, but can he? I think Arif, right?
Yeah. My name is Arif.
Yeah. Okay, I'm speaking about you, right?
Sorry.
I was speaking about you, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. When?
yeah, I was just telling like you already in a period of how to learn when the period of AutoCAD CAD came into boom, and then you are already
Yeah.
seeing the
Yeah.
boom of Revit, and now you here to learn
Yes. Yes.
Dynamo as well as Python.
Yeah.
That's a
That's why.
lot of experience.
Correct.
Yeah, great.
Well, yes.
Okay, so the
Yeah.
overview of course is like we are going to learn what is the basics of Python, what is Python, how to learn the basics of it, because we are not professional programmers. As I already said, I basically came from a civil engineering background. I was like a structural engineer who went into BIM and then learned these concepts. Okay, for us learning Python extensively to a programmer level is not necessary. We are not going to here create professional programs and then release it in the internet. Okay, but we have to know some basics in order to interact with Dynamo and Revit. So that is what we are going to see
Mhm.
now, and we are going to see something called as OOPS concept, object oriented programming concept, which I will discuss detail inside the course, not now, but this is one of the important concepts we are going to cover. And then we will start with what is Revit API. Everybody here knows what is Revit, but we have to know what the other term API means, and how to learn this Revit API, and where can you find the resources for this Revit API. And then how to interpret Revit API with Python. Revit API is totally different and Python is totally different. Okay, don't misunderstand this. And some complex topics and examples, and we will also teach you some basics of C Sharp, and we will also tell you how to create zero touch notes. Any idea of what is zero touch note? Anyone? Any experience with zero touch notes? No.
No.
The parameters which cannot be edited inside Revit.
Yeah, not Revit, within Dynamo. I hope everybody knows packages, right? How to install packages in Dynamo, how to install external packages, Archilab, MEP over,
Yes.
Yeah.
Lunchbox,
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Rhythm, Springs,
Yes, Kumar.
a lot of packages, right? So if you install packages and when you place a node from the package and a normal node from which is defaultly existing in Dynamo, you will find a difference in the appearance. Packages node will have like multiple boxes
Yeah.
stacked one behind the other. So you can also edit that package node and see what has been written inside that. You can just right click and go ahead and edit. If you have not tried it, you can try that. Maybe I will also show it today. Okay, but when it comes to zero touch node, some nodes will be locked. I don't know how many of you have experience with the package called as Lunchbox. So most of the nodes from
Yeah,
Lunchbox are like zero touch nodes. They don't even appear like a package node. They just appear similar to how a default node is looking like inside Dynamo. So most of the packages are actually converting their nodes into zero touch nodes. In the sense, what is happening in the background is they create nodes in C# and they compile the code in C# and then they put it inside the atmosphere of Dynamo, so nobody can see what is being written inside that. Or else most of the people just seeing what is there written inside the customized node, just copying it and then putting it in your code, which is not completely wrong, but still they are preventing from doing that by providing zero touch nodes. So I will also teach you how to create such zero touch nodes and then put it inside Dynamo. So that would be like the end. So the agenda for today is like we have to know what is the basics of Dynamo and what is the type of Python we are going to study and why to study Python, what is API, and what are some basic programming concepts. Okay, so what is Dynamo? A very poor question to ask with a lot of experts from the same field. Okay, in simple words, I can say Dynamo is like a default Revit add-in and it's a visual programming tool. What is visual programming? Anyone? Programming is fine. Everybody knows what's programming. What's visual programming? No idea. But nobody is having any idea. Nobody wish to speak up. Come on, guys.
Those nodes are basically just like blocks, so we basically call them as a visual.
Yeah, so we just create nodes and we connect with each other. Okay, that's called as visual programming. Basically, we don't need to write code. Okay, we are not going to write like hash include iosteam.h, hash include conio.h. Okay, we are not going to write typical code. We are going to put blocks which are containing the code in the background. Okay, when you say get parameter value by name, there is a node called as get parameter value by name, which is going to get certain parameter values from a certain element. Okay, you don't need to understand how the node works. You just need to know the name of the node and place it and connect it properly so that it works. Okay, without knowing actual programming, you are still using programming and using a method called as typically like a flowchart to perform an operation and then make it automated. That is what we call it as visual programming. And what is that used for? Automate Revit processes and create complex geometries. How many of you from MEP streams? Mechanical, electrical, and plumbing?
I am
Me.
MEP.
I'm
So two people, not more than two people.
Me. Vivek.
Okay, good. So like 3 to 4 people, I guess. So we will just split
Yeah,
it like
Basha, Ajay,
50%,
yeah.
50% from architecture and structure and 50% from MEP. That's a good combination. Okay, when I was asking is like complex geometries. I don't think MEP people used to create that. Mostly architecture people and facade engineering people used to play with geometry related attributes inside Dynamo. Okay, you can also
Okay.
create a lot of pipes, routings and all, but that doesn't come under like really complex geometries. Okay, so what is the major uses of Dynamo? You can output data, use Excel import, Excel output, put it to other servers, use a text file, data visualizations, create dashboards, element creation, element modification, element deletion, rotate elements, copy elements. Everything what you do using Revit user interface should be also possible to do within Dynamo. These are the major uses of Dynamo. But what are the shortcomings of Dynamo? Okay, all basic functionalities are basically not provided within the Dynamo nodes itself. That is why you have a provision of installing external packages. Okay, the need for Dynamo is because Revit was not able to provide something by default. Okay, I can edit a lot of nodes, like I can rotate a lot of columns clicking by one. Okay, I was not able to edit a lot of furniture items all at once, so that was not provided customized by Revit. So instead what they did, they gave Dynamo into Revit. Okay, we are not responsible for giving everything. If you want customized solutions, create your own customized solutions by using creating scripts, or install additional add-ons which is provided from external users. Okay, there is a lot of add-on publishers. Okay, now an extended version of Dynamo, even Dynamo cannot solve everything. Dynamo is only limited to a certain functionalities, so they give another provision of install additional packages. If you know how to create nodes in Python, then you create a package and then you publish the package, so everybody else will be benefited from the package. Okay, but one major disadvantage of using packages is like, if you create a node with a create a script with a lot of package nodes and then provide it to a person who is having very limited knowledge in Dynamo, the very first thing he would see when he opens the Dynamo script is like all red color nodes. So why is that? Any experience?
Because the package is not loaded. Package is not loaded.
Yes. So, and if you go and sit next to him or her and then say like, no, you're going to go into this tab, install this package, and after this you have to install this package, he would be like little bit hesitant to use Dynamo again. Okay, and you cannot always expect the user who is just going to use the script which you are creating to have all the package pre-installed. Okay, and one more disadvantage is like package notes are always not guaranteed that it will work properly in all cases. It depends on who creates it, and are they providing proper updates for every version of Revit that has been released. So everything depends upon the publisher. Some of the well-known publishers that are doing this by providing a actual team for that as a full-time job, but most of the time there is a like n number of packages, thousands of packages. Okay, I have seen people install like 30-35 packages in their PC. They don't even know what node they are using from which package. They used to type and then get something, either it is a default node or package node. So that's one of the biggest issues. And package nodes are eventually slowing down your script. The efficiency of a script has been reduced when you use more and more packages. I don't know if you have observed this. And the next time, try to see a same script which is running with default nodes and same script which is running from the package nodes. You will see a slight difference. And if the model is very heavy, then you will see a very drastic difference. Okay, so how to solve this issue? Not just knowing Revit, not just knowing Dynamo, you need to install something, not install, you need to know something addition called as Python. So what's Python? Python is a programming language.
Yes.
Any programming experience? Anyone before this course? I had.
Yeah, I told you, no, auto-list programming I do.
Yeah,
Did
okay.
in
So
CAD.
actual programming languages, anything like that, like Python, C++, Java. No such
No.
experience for anyone. Okay, this is not a prerequisite. I'm just interested to know whether somebody is already having some programming experience. Okay. Python is a programming language. Okay, if I suppose that most of us here are engineers. I'm not wrong, right? So everybody almost here is engineers. So the syllabus could be varying, but most of us are forced to learn one programming language during our college days. Maybe I'm wrong, but you would have at least introduced you something called as programming language, and I was asked to learn that. If not, then you are lucky. But I was asked to forced to learn C++ during my school days and like college days. Okay, not completely. We just used to write everything in the paper and then go keep that under the desk and then write it in the exam. So you can directly call it as illegal malpracticing, whatever name you can call. But that's what we used to do as civil engineers, or mechanical engineers, or electrical engineers. We don't give a damn about programming. Why the hell I have to learn programming? We are engineers. We create the world. Why programmers? Why programming we have to learn? And we are like, we always tease the IT people. See, why are they learning programming and all? Okay, most of us used to do that. At least I used to do that. Okay, but now I am teaching programming to all the professionals. That's how life turns. Okay, so this is how programming languages are. There is a lot of programming languages starting from C, C++, C Sharp, Java. Anything you should have at least heard in the movies. Okay, what are they actually doing? They used to write a code like they used to compute an algorithm. They will instruct the computer, do this, open this file, delete this file, copy this file. You have to instruct the computer how will you instruct the computer? Will the computer understand English or Spanish or German or anything? The computer does not capable of understanding all typically human spoken languages, so they have their own programming languages. So when you instruct the PC in a certain programming language, the PC understands that and then executes the task it's been provided by the user. Okay, Python is one such programming language. Very simple. Python is the very easiest programming language that is available in the internet today. Learning Python is the most easiest. If you are very new to programming, then you should only focus on learning Python. Learning C++, Java or C Sharp, it's very difficult as compared to Python. You will understand when I start teaching Python. Okay, so by learning Python, you are actually independent of packages. You can access Revit API and then you can reduce the graph size. I have seen a lot of people use like 50 nodes and then wires will be flowing from left to right. Even after if he is the same person who is opening the same script after 6 months, he doesn't understand what's happening in that script. Everything will be wires here and there. If you select one node, it will be connected with 4 or 5 wires and you don't know where's that wire coming from. Okay, but instead if you know Python, that almost everything can be compiled within that Python node. So indirectly you are reducing the graph size, and if the graph size is reduced, which means the efficiency of the script will be very higher, because executing nodes will be in the sequence. If you are having 10 nodes, first node followed by the second, third until the 10th node, one will be executed at a time. So it will take some time to reach from the first node till the 10th node. Okay, but if you write everything in single node, so the time taken to execute that one single node, the entire code written inside that is comparatively less. You can't completely feel that with the naked eye. Those are like milliseconds, but again, considerably if the model size is very huge. You consider like a very huge MEP model, which is like a lot of plumbing fixtures, ducting fixtures, 10,000, 15,000 elements. So then if you run a script which is completely written with normal nodes and completely written in Python, you will clearly see the difference. Python node will be very efficient as compared to normal nodes. And also if you are using packages, again, that will consume a lot of time. So it will reduce, it will increase the efficiency, so minimizes the runtime. And there is a lot of modules within this Python itself. Anybody heard about the term artificial intelligence, machine learning? Machines are going to take away humans' jobs. These type of terms, artificial intelligence. Any idea? At least heard about these terms?
Yeah.
Yes.
So those Python is the mostly used programming languages for creating this artificial intelligence and machine learning softwares. Okay, so those modules are by default available inside Python, so you don't have to recreate those modules. So those modules can be used within Dynamo as well. Okay, so what is Python? So after speaking a lot about Python, what's Python? So when I
Programming
search,
language.
of course, yes, obvious. So when I searched Google, was the answer given by Google.
Okay.
Open
Which
source
are the
interpreted.
software we can use the Python programs? Which are the software we can use Python languages? Like Revit and even Microsoft Excel also we can use.
I don't think about Excel because I'm not very sure about Excel. Excel they used to have
Okay.
Excel macros. I know that, but I'm not sure about
For
Python.
web creation also we can use it.
Yeah, we can for web creations, for web automations. Everywhere you can use for creating desktop applications. Revit is a desktop application. Okay.
Okay.
If you take LinkedIn, YouTube, those are web applications. So web applications can also be created with Python. Web automations can be done with Python. Say for example, today you wanted to send 100 messages. Diwali is arriving, right? In some days.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to send like 100 messages to all your friends and families and wanted to spam their inbox, you can do it with Python. So these are the major areas, and especially as I said, artificial intelligence and machine learning, they use Python extensively. The reason is like to learn artificial intelligence or machine learning, you need to be very strong in maths. If somebody already are experiencing that, you will really know that. If you heard about the terms like linear algebra, trigonometries, so you have to be vector algebra, you have to be very strong in these areas. So the people who are good in machine learning are not just programmers, they are mathematicians. They used to plot a lot of graphs. So for people who are very good in maths, it was easy to learn a programming language that was very user friendly. That's where they are using Python very much. Okay, so they are not coming from a professional programming background, so they are in a position to learn something that is very easy to understand. So that is why I'm also stating that Python is the most easiest programming language, because I have learned a few languages. I know C++, Java, C Sharp, as well as Python. As compared to all this, Python is not even like near to the difficulty level of C Sharp or Java in any way. Python, you can say like
Okay.
10% of effort is needed to learn as compared to the other programming languages, and it has a very wide use, not within Revit. Okay, so we have like a very brief statement which we don't even care. We are not in the school days anymore, where you are asked to write this definition, memorize it, and then only then you are granted 2 marks for this. So we need to know what each and every line means. Open source. What's open source? The entire source code for Python. Python has to be also computed by someone, right? Somebody should have created Python. So how they created Python, that entire code is available in the internet. You can go ahead and search for Python source code in Google. You'll get that. So if you are in a state like you are very advanced situation, you can also contribute to this Python environment. Okay, so the entire source code for Python is open source. It's human readable. When I say interpreted, it's human readable. Okay, Python will be more or less equal to how we speak in English. If this happens, do this. This is how we speak, right? That's the same thing we are going to use in Python. So it's very human readable. It's a general purpose. It is not like domain specific. Okay, now there is a programming language called as R, only R. That's only used in machine learning. They don't use R anywhere else. But Python is not like that. It is not restricted to only Revit or machine learning. It has a very wide range of use, and it's high level programming language. It is not dealt with zeros and ones. Okay, if you know what zeros and ones like, initial days programming languages are only zeros and ones. It's not that case. Now every programming language is high level programming language. It's object oriented programming. We will speak about that later. Dynamically typed, again I will speak about this later. For to understand what is dynamically typed, you need to understand how Java is written and how Python is written. That's where the difference comes drastically. And of course it's a programming language, as somewhat spotted. So in even 2020, so I should actually change this slide to 2021, and in the near future 2022. So it's still one of the topmost programming language used across the world. Why? Because it has to have a very wide user community. If you are facing any trouble in Revit, what will you do? You can't ask your colleague. Sometimes they might be busy. You use to Google. Where will you get answers when you have trouble in Revit or any CAD software? What will you do?
Forum.
I wanted to draw a pipe and the fitting is not properly forming, or I wanted to draw a wall and the wall is not properly joining. What will you generally do? Where will you find answers in Google?
Autodesk.
Yeah, forums. We have a lot of forums, right?
Yeah, forums. Yeah, Autodesk forums. Yeah.
Architecture forums, MEP forums. Even we have Dynamo forums.
Yeah.
So if you post a question in that, so how long do you think you will get a reply? Oh, not more than 1 or 2 days. They have a very active community. They have people assigned to answer your questions, and there is a lot of user contributed answers. Today I know Revit very well. Okay, if I go to Revit forum and then I see somebody is asking a question like, I wanted to create a fitting here, and I know how to do this, I will tell them, okay, go to this tab, use this button, or load this fitting family, use this template. Some answer I have, right? I can post that answer, and you will see a thread will be going on the discussion, and you will find answers from someone. How is that happening? Because Revit is having a very wide user base. Everybody around the world is using Revit nowadays. So that is very important for any programming language. In the future, if you don't know how to do something in a programming language, you need somebody help, not always someone sitting next to you, but through internet. So you ask a question that you need somebody to answer that, and Python is having a very wide user interface, sorry, wide user base. So you will get answers very spontaneously. You have a lot of forums for Python as well. You can contribute to that once you know Python. Okay. So far I've been speaking about Revit, and I've also taught you not taught you, told you what is Python, but all of a sudden I'm saying something called as .NET framework. Any idea about what is .NET framework? Anyone heard this term .NET framework?
Yes.
So can someone tell me like what you know about this? Just like
This is basically a platform where the entire library are available which we will be using as reference, and we will be building our codes.
You are like 100% correct. So this is the first time I'm getting an answer for asking what is a .NET framework after having a lot of batches. So .NET framework is just a platform. So that's really good. So .NET framework is not a programming language. Okay, .NET framework is a programming platform developed by Microsoft. Okay, you on top of this platform there is a lot of programming languages: C Sharp, VB.NET, F Sharp, J Sharp. There is like more than 30 plus languages running on to this Microsoft .NET framework. Okay, again I'm repeating, .NET framework is not a programming language. It is a programming platform. .NET is having a lot of libraries, modules. Okay, to compare it very simply, it is having external packages. Okay, libraries are equated to packages which are already written and established, and you're going to use it. You're not going to rewrite it. If somebody has been already some function has been provided by Lunchbox node, you don't have to rewrite it because Lunchbox node is performing very well. Yes, same way .NET is providing a lot of libraries which you can use on. Okay, so it is great way Microsoft having a lot of programming languages, and Revit is being developed on .NET framework. Okay, to be very specific, Revit is developed on C Sharp. Okay, so what is IronPython? Again, we told you what is Python. Again, a new term called as IronPython or IronPython, whatever you can call. I told you Revit is been written in C# programming language, and Revit is written on .NET framework. Python is not a programming language which supports .NET framework. Python is independent of .NET framework. Then how will you create code which is going to be automate Revit with the programming languages that is not even related to .NET framework? You need some connection, right? If you are going to German and if you try to communicate like Spanish, what is going to happen? Not more people will know
Yeah.
Spanish in German. You need to speak a language which is very close to them. Only then you can communicate very well. Same way, knowing a programming language is no way related to a software. It is of no use. So we have a separate program called as IronPython. Okay, Python is different, IronPython is different. You can call IronPython as a subdivision of Python. Python is having a lot of implementations: IronPython, JPython, CPython. Okay, so IronPython is very specific to .NET programming platform. If you know IronPython, or if you only write the code in IronPython, you will be able to communicate with Revit. And is there any difference between the way we write programming codes for Python and IronPython? Very small. 98% the code will be very same. Some of the code will be slightly different from Python and IronPython. Okay, so in order to have to communicate with Revit, you need to write code in IronPython. Any doubt so far? Anyone? Most of you guys are very silent. Just wanted to know.
Okay. No.
Everybody clear so far?
What is CLR like?
Okay, we are going to see that maybe in the next session. Our very first topic will be CLR. To answer your question in very short, CLR is like a compiler, which is helping the computer to understand the programming language. CLR, Common Language Runtime. Okay, I will speak in detail about CLR in the next session. I hope that's fine. Okay, is that for you? Is that okay for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So any other doubts, any other questions or clarifications needed for what been discussed so far? Anything?
Which writer is good for Python? Which program writer for good for Python programming?
Basically, Python is very suitable to write an editor called as PyCharm, but we are going to teach you in some other editor called as VS Code, Visual Studio Code. Again, that's for the next class, because in the next class I will teach you how to install Visual Studio Code. I personally feel Visual Studio Code is very easy to write any programming language. So that's my answer. VS Code. Yes, anything related to what we discussed so far? What is Python? What is the .NET framework? What is IronPython? How is being Revit developed? Why I should need to learn Python? Any doubts?
No, we are good.
No.
Okay, I hope it is understandable for everyone so far. If my voice is not clear, or if I am running very fast or running very slow, feel free to write
That's
that.
okay. Good. Yeah. Right.
Okay, so don't be like stable until the end of the class and okay, we'll just raise all these issues. I don't really like this guy. He's talking very too much. So if you have that comment, please tell it right away. We can alter that. Okay, fine. This is like a very open session.
Yes.
I'm not going to stick to the
Yes.
same way of teaching for everyone. If Arif understand everything, but if Nimesh doesn't understand, no problem. We can repeat the same for Nimesh. Maybe in the second time when I repeat, Arif will get a new idea of what the concept is. That's how the course will be. You're not going to leave anybody behind. Even if you're a beginner, even if you're a pro, no problem. Ask questions up to your level. There is no questions called as weak questions or stupid questions. Everything is a question and everything can be answered unless and until it is Python. Don't ask me who is going to be the next president for America, which is no way relevant here, and I personally don't know. So if it is something related to this class, I will answer that. Okay, clear for everyone. Shall we proceed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody is within India, right? Someone may be from Dubai attending the session. Just to know the time
I am from
difference.
Dubai. I am from Dubai.
Okay, so anybody else from any other part of the country other than India?
I'm Dubai also, sir.
So Frolan, if I'm pronouncing your
Yes,
name very
Dubai,
bad,
sir.
please. I'm really sorry for that.
Proline.
Frolan, right? Okay, and just to
Yes.
clarify again, no more sir. Just call me Kumar. I'm okay with that. I really
Okay.
don't like the word sir, and I'm not in an age category to be called as sir. Okay, so we will just keep it Kumar. If you wanted to
Yeah.
call me with any pet name, I'm okay with that. No problem. But no sir, please.
Okay.
Okay, and I think like calling by your name is also fine with you guys. If you really feel like no, address
Yes.
me
Hey,
like
okay.
Mr.
Okay.
Florin,
Yeah,
Okay.
I will do that.
no problem.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we are
Yes,
just
sir.
like we will just speak like professionals. We'll interact so that the class will be very nice. If you are sticking to like very strict formal language, please, Mr. Florin, can you please unmute your microphone and speak? That's gonna take a lot of time. Okay, so we'll just keep it very casual here. Okay, so you understand what is IronPython. Okay, now this is going to be the type of IronPython we are going to use inside Dynamo. Okay, the version of IronPython we are going to use is 2.7.3, and I'm not going to conduct any quizzes, so you don't have to remember this version number. This is just for you to know. If somebody in the future shows you like what is the version of IronPython you're using, which I strongly believe nobody will ask, but still know that we are using 2.7.3 version of IronPython, and that is the maximum version of IronPython available so far, because they stopped the new updates for IronPython very back. Okay, we are not getting new updates. The current version of Python
Anything
what we are using is 3.9, but IronPython,
anything is related to Revit version?
no, nothing related, nothing like that. Revit
Nothing related, no?
API is related to Revit versions, but not
Version.
IronPython. Every version
Okay.
of Revit is still going to use IronPython 2.7. You don't have to worry about that, because when you install Dynamo, not when you install Revit, you will automatically get Dynamo, and with Dynamo, this IronPython will be also accompanied. So nothing
That
to
means
worry in that.
even 2019 Revit we can use 2.73 Python.
Every version is still using 2.73.
Yeah.
We can't use
Okay.
anything
Okay.
other than that, because this is
Okay.
not something for us to decide. No, I don't like 2.7. I want 2.6. No, you can't do that within Dynamo. If you are writing it in a separate editor outside Revit, yes, you are in the position to choose which version you wanted. But here it is not possible. Inside Dynamo, I'm speaking. Okay, so again, the reason is because Revit is being developed in .NET framework, so I'm using IronPython inside Dynamo, which makes sense, because if I wanted to speak German, then I need to know German. At least I need to hire a translator or know a friend who can speak German and my language. Okay, so IronPython is that way. I will still write my code in Python, but this IronPython also knows how to convince Revit. Okay, so this IronPython, by understanding the Python way of writing to automate things in Revit. Okay, so how to use Python in Revit, very important thing. Python is a programming language. IronPython is going to be used. Everything so far we learned is good, but how to use that? By learning Iron Python, am I all good? I watched a lot of YouTube videos. Now I'm good to go and write my Python code. No. What else you need? Implement API. For God's sake, tell me what's API. How many of you know what's API? Any idea about APIs?
Advanced programming interface, something.
Could be.
Application programming
Application
interface.
programming interface.
Application programming interface. Okay.
Okay. A lot of abbreviation answers. I can see that most of you are coming from state boards or matriculations. Okay. So you know the abbreviation of this. Now tell me what's application programming interface.
Yeah.
This basically allows us to do some, to manipulate Revit. Revit actually itself allows us to manipulate itself to the user for some little bit modifications for our own benefit. It doesn't provide the entire coding. It a little part of that they offer us to assemble, or let's say arrange or code of our own as per our requirement.
Yeah, it's almost the same. Okay, but yeah, the terms what he used is like technical terms. Okay, but as a layman, most of us here who don't understand what is API. So we will see what's application programming interfaces. This is like a very old, very classic example. Okay, I don't come up with this example. This example is something that I brought from the internet. Okay, today you wish like after this boring sessions, you decide like, okay, this guy has been talking for so long. Now I'm tired of speaking, listening to them. So I'll go to a restaurant. I'll take my girlfriend with me. Okay, I'll go to a restaurant today just to have a candlelight dinner. What you can do? Can you go into the restaurant directly, knock the kitchen, and then go in and prepare some food for yourself? You're not allowed to do that. You will be thrown out of the restaurant. Very first thing, you go to a restaurant, you book a table, or you just occupy a table which is already available for there. You call a waiter, or a waiter will directly come you and attend you. Dear sir, dear madam, what would you like to have for today? Okay, I think this is the common scenario. So then the waiter will provide you certain menu card. You need to know what's been there or what special dish that is available. I need some pizzas, burgers. Okay, then you decide, okay, this is what my wish for today's dinner. Then can the waiter go into the kitchen and then he himself prepare some dish and then can he serve you? No, he is again restricted from doing that. The purpose of the waiter is just to take orders from you and pass the order to the kitchen, where there will be some chef who is designated to prepare the food for you. So can the chef alone prepare the food? He used to use some utensils, kitchenwares, and some ingredients, and he knows how to mix the ingredients, and the chef will take care of everything. Okay, then can the chef will directly come and serve you again? No. Again, it is a job of the waiter to get the food from the kitchen and serve it back to you. So we are in a process like you are the client, and there is a guy who is responsible for preparing what you need, but there is an intermediate guy which is actually communicating between you two guys. Okay, you don't have the direct access to the kitchen, whereas the chef don't have the direct access to the consumer table. Everything has to be, the to and fro motion has to be communicated between the waiter. Here we call this waiter as the restaurant API. Okay, or simple words, API. Okay, the purpose of or the job of API is to not create its own programming or not perform its own operation. The purpose of API is to just communicate between what is the need of the user and communicate to the proper or the responsible person or the responsible software in this case to do the job. Okay, now assume the same thing in terms of Revit. Okay, you know Revit, but you don't understand how Revit speaks or understand what's happening in the background of Revit. Okay, you can't command Revit because Revit is not your friend. Assume that I'm Revit. You come to me directly and ask me to do create a wall. I will not do it because I don't know you, and you don't speak my language. So what you will do, you will take help of someone called as Revit API. He will just call the Revit API, and then you will assign some task to the Revit API. Can you take this task and go to Revit and then ask Revit to do this? So the Revit API is a person who is responsible for taking all your task and then putting it into Revit, and Revit will do the task. And after doing the task, you have to communicate it, right? Whether the task has been done or not. Did you create the wall which I asked you to create? Yes or no? So again, the Revit API will carry the results back to you. So you are the user. You don't have direct access to Revit. The access to Revit is forbidden. So you take the help of Revit API. You process a request. Revit API process the request to Revit, and Revit returns a result. And Revit API will take that result and return it back to you. Clear? What's the concept of Revit API? Any doubts in this very important
Means
concept?
yes, yeah. Means in that we send that request to Revit API, then Revit means API means we using Python, right?
No. Python is a programming language. You type programming language. But typing programming language, you need
Okay.
certain codes. Knowing Dynamo and knowing
Yes.
the name of the nodes is different. Okay. Dynamo is
Mhm.
like Python. Okay. Equate Dynamo to Python. Dynamo is a user interface. So just by
Mhm.
with Dynamo, you can't do anything. You need to play some nodes. To perform an operation, you need a
Yes.
node. Knowing the name of the node is your responsibility. Same way in Revit API, there are some codes. You need to know the codes.
Yes.
So if you are about to
Mhm.
greet someone, you have to say good morning, good evening. Only then the person will understand, right? Okay. So that good morning
Yes.
is equated to Revit API. That is the way you greet someone in English. If you greet the same in Hindi, you have to say something else. Okay.
Mhm.
So Python is a programming language.
Yes.
Revit API is like a standard codes. So by using this
Okay.
code, you are providing certain commands to Revit.
Mhm.
Yes.
Understand.
Great. So any other doubts for anyone? No? Everybody clear?
No.
So if you are clear, please say yes, I'm
Yes.
clear. That's also a good way of answering. At
Clear.
least I will be
Yeah,
happy,
clear.
right?
Clear. Clear.
Okay, I'm speaking so for so long and you are not saying I understood. See, show some mercy. So clear for everyone?
Clear. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So there should be some response. If Revit is going to give you some response, then why can't you guys give me a response? So make
Means one more doubt. I
yes,
have
please.
one more doubt. Means yeah, that code we are generating from Python, right?
Hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We are going to generate the code in Python. We are going to write it in Python, but the codes what we are going
Okay.
to use it is going to be in Revit API.
Okay. Okay. Understand.
Okay. Okay. So this is a very
Yeah.
important concept because most of you might be in a confusion of when you hear a term called as Revit API, what was it? So you should be very clear that Revit API is not a programming language by itself. Revit API is like a translator. Okay. So you don't directly speak to Revit. Revit API acts as a translator between you and Revit. It will take commands from you and then pass it to Revit and take the result from Revit and pass it back to you. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Clear.
So where can I get the Revit API codes? Next question. Where can I get it? I think somebody would have already know how to do it. Any idea? Revit API docs. If you go to Google, start typing Revit API docs. Docs in the sense documentation. Okay. So you will get the very first link saying www.revitapidocs.com. You just click on this revitapidocs.com. This is where you will find all the documentation of Revit API. If I just click on like 2022, you will have a lot of namespaces here. What's a namespace? If I abbreviate a namespace or expand a namespace, I have class. If I expand a class, I have members. And within that, I have methods, I have properties. Okay, all of a sudden, I messed everything up. So far, you understand everything, but suddenly I'm introducing you to new terms called as namespaces, members, methods, properties, classes. Stop right there. What do you mean? How many of you
Hmm.
know all these already? Just to know.
A bit of basic knowledge while doing Dynamo. We have
Okay,
used this for like design scripting.
okay, good.
I know also. I also know something.
Okay.
Yes.
So these terms are slightly familiar to you, but there could be people who are hearing this for the very first time as well. That's no problem. We are here to actually know all these things. You need to know what are namespaces, what are classes, what are members, methods, and properties. Okay, if you know all these things, you already know object-oriented programming concepts. Okay, object-oriented programming concepts are some of the advanced areas of any programming language. Okay, namespaces, class, members, methods are not only common for Python, it is common for every programming language. Okay, so what are these? So this is one way to, one area to find this. There is one other website. It's called as API docs.co. That's CO. Okay, Revit API docs.com or API docs.co. This is actually providing you the API docs for almost 4 different softwares: Revit, Navisworks, Grasshopper, Rhino, all these. Again, Grasshopper is something that is very similar to Dynamo, or you can also say Dynamo was inspired from Grasshopper, or you can also say Revit stole the concept of Grasshopper and then created its own Dynamo, whatever you like. Okay, and this one we will speak later. When we speak advanced topic, I will show you this link where you can find this. So when I open Revit API docs layout, see, I'm going to use Revit API docs.com. Okay, I like that very much. So that's a very user-friendly user interface. So you can also use the same, or you can also feel free to use API docs.co if you like that interface. No problem. Both are going to give you same results. Okay. So when you open an API docs layout, you have something called as namespace, classes, members, methods. What are these? What's a namespace? What's a class? See, I'm going to explain you a very basic concept. I want you to listen, pay attention. This is very important concept for a non-programmer like you and me. If you understand this concept, you almost crack 90% of any programming language. Basics is very important, and knowing and advanced things in any area is of no use if you don't know basics. This is the basics of any programming language. So pay attention. So example, I am a class. I call myself as a class. Okay, Nimesh is a class, Ajit is a class, Prolan is a class, RF is a class. Okay, so now Kumar, as Kumar, I am a class. Okay, I have a name, I have a place where I stay in, I have a job to do. Okay, I have a salary, I have a designation. Okay, I might have a car, I might own a house. So all these things, can I call it as my attributes? My name is my attribute, my location is my attribute, what mobile I own is an attribute. Yes or no? Can I call these are my attributes? Yes or no? I want you guys to answer.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
possessions, my name, my address, my phone number, these are my attributes. Same way, Florin could have its own name, its own address, his own company where he works in, his own designation. Okay, so everybody, you and me, are assumed to be a class, and we are having attributes. Okay, okay. Now, as a person, you and I, can we speak? Can we listen? Can we eat? Can we sleep? Can we walk? Can we drive? Can we run? Can we jog? Can we work out? All these things are the actions what we can perform. Okay, walking is an action, speaking is an action. I am taking classes and you are listening class. So these are the actions that can be performed by you and me. So name, place, anything are my attributes, and I have certain functions which I can perform. Yes, so all the attributes what I have are equated to properties, and all the actions what I do are equated to methods. Okay, as a class will have a property, a class will have a method, a class will have a certain information. Okay, Arjit is the name of you, Kumar is my name, Nimesh is his name. So we all have an attribute called as name. The value or the property value will be different. Your name is Arjit, my name is Kumar, but we still share the same attribute called as name. You have a name attribute and I have a name attribute. You have an ID, I have an ID. Okay, you have your own car, I have my own car. Okay, these are common attributes. The values for these attributes can vary. Every class, if there is a space where you can write some value, those are called as attributes. Here in programming languages we call it as property. Okay, now as a person I can perform an action. That action, if the action is performed by a class, we call it as methods. Okay, now consider like a car is going to be a class. the color of the car, how many tires that the car have, how many seats capacity the car is having, what is the engine capacity, cylinder capacity, what is the mileage the car giving. All these things are attributes or methods. This is the question. All these things what I classify
Property.
as properties or properties, right?
Property.
Okay, these are properties. So a car can be driven at this speed. Okay, a car can be like give this much of amount of mileage, producing something. Actions which are performed by the car can be classified as methods or properties. Which one?
Methods.
Okay, so
Action. This is
anything
action.
can be called as a class. Simply to speak very common terminology, an object is called as a class. A pen is a class, a mobile phone is a class, a laptop is a class, a microphone is a class, your car, your bike, your wheel, your tire, your forks, everything is a class. So everything is an object. An object is having an attribute. An object can perform certain action. The attribute of an object is called as properties. The action which can be performed by that object is called as method. Clear? Any doubts so far? I want everybody to be clear here. Again,
Clear, Kumar.
please let me know if
Clear.
it is clear.
Clear.
Okay, clear. I want a clear from everyone.
Yes.
Green signal for everyone, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. You are like 50%
Clear.
programming. Okay, so you are a class and I am a class. Can I classify something which is all similar to one class? Okay, assume that you are studying in engineering. Okay, all those who are studying mechanical will be grouped as mechanical department. All those who are studying CSE are classified as computer science department. Those who are studying civil will be classified as civil department. How are people classified? Because based upon what they study, what is their information or what is the scope of study, they have been classified that. Same way, all similar classes can be classified together, put in called as namespaces. The grouping what we give to the common attribute is called as namespace. Okay, so you are a person, I am a person, we can together call it as people, don't we? Okay, people who are living in America can be classified as Americans. So Americans is called as namespace and all American people are called as individual classes. Indians is a namespace. Every individual person inside India who is born and brought up in India is called as Indian. Indian is a class, whereas Indians is a namespace. We are like grouping someone. Okay, grouping classes based upon their behavior or based upon their attributes is called as namespace. If you give a common name to similar classes, that's called as namespace. Clear? What's namespace? Any doubts? What's namespace? Yes or no?
Object type.
Class.
Sorry, I don't
Class.
understand. No. I'm
We
just
can also
asking.
call
I'm
that
just
as a
asking like whether
object type.
what is it clear what is namespace or not? Is it clear or
Yeah.
Yeah, it's clear.
okay? Any doubts in namespace for someone?
Yeah, I have doubt.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Namespace means India is a class, Indian is a namespace, right?
Okay. Okay, go ahead. Yes.
Okay.
Complete your question.
One
Take it from there.
one person is a class and peoples are the namespace, right?
Yes.
Okay, understand.
Okay. Classifying
Yeah.
something. Very simple. Classifying something. Okay. All Parker pens are classified as Parker pen. Okay, you can have 100 Parker pens. Each and every individual Parker pen is considered as classes. Commonly calling
Yes.
everything as Parker pen is called as classification. That is what we call it as namespace. So the namespace of all these classes is Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, clear?
Yes,
Just putting
clear.
them together. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
So same thing for Revit example. We have something called as element class. Can I call wall as an element? Yes or no? Can a wall be called as an element or not? In Revit.
Yes.
Can a
Yes.
pipe be called as an element?
Yes.
Can a duct,
Yes.
cable tray, fitting, any
Yeah.
fitting?
Yeah. All the element.
Everything that I create as an instance in Revit can be called as an element.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so element is a class. So let's take a wall. Will a wall have a property called as name? Does a wall is having a name property? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Does a wall is having an element ID property?
Yeah.
Okay. A wall is having a location information, where it is situated.
Yes.
Okay. Some attribute
Yes.
should be there. A wall should be
Mm.
having something called as whether it is been pinned or not. Any object, where an object can be moved or not is depending upon whether it is pinned. Okay, so which level a wall is associated. So these are all attributes. Okay, the information stored on the element, just informations. If I click on a pipe, if I know what type of pipe it is, okay, this is a cooling pipe, no, this is a heating pipe. How do I know? These are attributes of pipe. Okay, pipe is a class, whereas these information are called as attributes. Okay,
Yes.
now methods which can be performed over a class. I can create a wall, I can delete a wall, I can modify a wall, I can apply paint to the wall. All these things are methods or actions performed by the wall or on the wall. So
On the wall.
actions performed by the class can be classified as methods. Wall creation, duct creation, all these things are actions. So element class, which is having certain attributes, name, ID, location, level, these are attributes. An element can be created, deleted, get property, set property. These are all methods. Now can you relate between how Revit API is classified? Yes or no? Imagine same applied thing for how we classified a person. Attribute, same thing is applied for element. Actions performed by the element or on the element, or properties from the element. Okay, so far any questions?
Discuss what will be the namespace like.
Yeah, I'm just going to show that. Okay, so if I go here, so we have something called as, let's just say, architecture namespace. Okay, I don't know how far the screen is visible for everyone. I'm just trying to zoom in. Autodesk.revit.db.architecture namespace. Forget all these things, just focus on the architecture namespace. So what do you think will be present in the architecture namespace? Creating architectural components, modifying architectural components. Yes, maybe, right?
Yes.
There is a
Yes.
mechanical namespace. Creating a duct, insulation, duct fitting,
Mhm.
classifying the duct. Could be in a mechanical. Same way we have plumbing namespace, we have lighting namespace, we also have structure, we should have structural namespace, steel namespace. So performing operations based upon, like how you have tabs in Revit, architectural tab, structural tab, systems tab, manage tab, collaborate tab. Why are they being split into tabs? Based upon their own purpose they serve. If you go to systems tab, it will serve all the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing related functionalities. If you go to collaborate tab, there you will have functions related to work sharing. Same way, how they are classified based upon functions, here they are classified as namespaces in programming world. Clear? Structure have a different namespace, architecture have a different namespace, mechanical elements will have a separate namespace, lighting will have a separate namespace. Clear? Or any doubts here? What's namespace and how they are classified? Don't get into deep, try to understand the basic or overview of it. This is today's class is just to make you understand or just to introduce you to these topics. Anyways, for the rest of the days you will be learning this one by one in detail. Okay, today just try to understand or grasp the concept.
In namespaces, we classified as a means creating walls, means creating ducts, creating pipes like this, right?
Yes.
Yes. So cooling pipe, heating pipe, heat pipe. How is classified that one?
No. That's totally different discussion. Here we are not discussing how to do something very specific here. We are not into that stage yet. This is just
Okay.
to give you an idea of certain functions which are related to a similar activity are classified in one namespace. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Creating
Yes.
mechanical related components can be classified as mechanical namespace. If you understand that, I'm very happy. Up to this point till now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Clear.
Okay. Any other doubts for anyone? No.
No.
Okay.
No.
This is today's class. What I did so far is just to give you overview. Did everybody have this document with you guys? If not, I think Rajesh would send you this. Okay. This
No.
is just to give you an idea of what each and every class we are going to deal with. This is the entire. Okay, I'll just go through them slowly. We are going to just discuss about the introductions. This is what today's class we just discussed, the limitations, what is namespace class and everything. Okay. Tomorrow's class we will start with Python. What is Python? What is a text editor I should install for Python? What is variables? What are the data types? We'll start over there, and then for the next 4 to 5 days we will speak more about Python. Okay. Then after completing Python, once you are confident in Python, we will enter into Revit API concepts. How to create elements, how to change parameters, how to collect elements, how to do class deductions, how to do imports and exports, how to open a document without even actually opening it, how to do things automatically without opening Revit. So these things we will do one by one. So if this document is not already shared with you, then I would just request Rajesh to share it with you, all you people. Okay. So
Yeah.
one common thing about the class is like every class, as per Indian timing, we start at 8:30 p.m. and
Yeah.
it can go up to 9:30, but based upon the doubts and the clarifications, it can extend like 30 minutes or sometimes more. But the stipulated time is 8:30. I want you guys to be there at 8:30 Indian time. Before that is very good, but at least by 8:30. So
Yes, yes.
okay, and since you guys are very familiar because you are attended the Dynamo session already, we used to record all the sessions, and you will be provided the recordings after the end of the session every day. And you can
Okay.
reach out to us for if you have any doubts in the meantime. Okay, today I'm not giving you any assignments, but practicing is the very important key to learn any new skill. Just to by listening to any recording or any live session doesn't help you much unless and until you get your hands dirty on that. Okay,
Yes.
before you guys leave today, I just want you to ask for some feedback. Just to know how far you understand today's session. What do you want me to do the same? What do you want me to do different? Do you want me to speak slowly, speak fast, or is the space okay? Is my voice clearly audible? Or do you want me to repeat any
Yes.
concepts like that?
Only speed is little bit fast.
Okay,
Otherwise, concept is clearing.
okay, good.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Okay,
can
means
reduce the speed.
we are thinking, you should be a second Rajesh.
Okay, second Rajesh, good
Yeah.
title, I think.
Yes.
Okay, any other feedback? Could be anything, could be negative feedbacks, no worries. I really don't like your classes. Could be a feedback. Then I will ask you what you don't like. No? Then I can assume that you guys all like my classes.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's a very good word to hear as a trainer. Okay, I'm happy now.
Total 30 classes or
Yeah, almost 30.
30,
It
30
depends.
classes?
We have 30
Yeah.
concepts, I would say. I would not say 30 classes. Okay, I can cover two topics on same day based upon what you understand. The same topic I will repeat on the other day as well if you people don't get that properly. So I am not sticking
Right.
to classes. I will stick to concepts.
Concepts. Okay.
Okay.
We are
Yes.
also covering some macros basics
Yes. At the
regarding macros.
yeah, at the end we used to teach you C sharp. So that's the same way you create. I will tell you how to create zero touch node. That's a very similar process on how you create macros. But
Okay.
we don't teach
Okay.
you extensively on macros. It's like only one class where we will give you introduction.
Yes. We have to know means Dynamo previous we have training attended that we have to know, right? It's
Not a
mandatory.
prerequisite because I am not going to use not more than 4 or 5 Dynamo nodes. I really don't like Dynamo nodes. I only like
Okay.
even though I know I can do the same thing with Dynamo node, I will break my head to find a way to do the same in Python.
Okay. Okay. No worries.
Okay, forget
That'd be
Rajesh,
interesting.
forget Dynamo. Okay, don't forget him, but forget what he had taught. Like the approach, everything should be in Dynamo. No, I don't like Dynamo. Everything should be in Python.
Okay.
I want my script to be in the matchbox size, not
Mhm.
multiple matchboxes. Only one matchbox. You will
Okay.
be in the same position to write everything in the matchbox size at the end of the session. I hope.
Yeah.
Wow, nice. Something going to be very interesting.
Yes, I hope to.
Yes.
Okay, so can this be the end of session today? So it's good
Yeah,
to
sure.
share a lot of knowledge with you guys. So we are looking forward for the session for the next 1 month nearly. So we used to have
Mhm.
sessions on like 6 days per week. I hope that's fine. Unfortunately for the people in Dubai, your weekend is not my weekend.
No
So
problem.
my weekend is Sunday. Your
Okay.
working day is already, I think, is on Sunday. So on
Yeah,
the start of your working day, unfortunately, I will be on holiday. So, but
it's okay. We are doing after the working hours only. No
yeah,
problem.
everybody used to say the same. I have attended sessions with people in Dubai. They used to like say Friday, this is a weekday or weekend. We are taking sessions on weekend.
Doesn't matter.
Okay,
Whether it is working day or weekend day, no problem.
okay, that's good then.
Thank you.
So, okay, thank you all.
Thank you,
We'll
Kumar.
meet you tomorrow then.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Kumar.
Goma.
Have a good night.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you very
Thank
much.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.